What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. Yesterday, while I was still filming my BH Summer in Saint-Tropez 3 looks video, a package arrived and it was a tiny refrigerator, yes, a little mini fridge from e.l.f. Cosmetics filled with their new JellyPop collection. I was not expecting to get this collection, but I was like super stoked to try all the stuff in it because this stuff is like kind of outside of the usual box of the makeup that I use here on this channel. Usually I do like very structured looks, super glam, and this is definitely a collection that leans more toward like natural dewy summer glow. And it also included some skincare, and that mini fridge is the shit. So I was super excited to try it, so I decided that I would use everything here on camera today. Everything except the cleanser, obviously, because I don't have a sink here to wash my face in, and quite frankly, I don't know how to light my bathroom properly. But I did use the cleanser 2 times already, and I will fill you guys in on what my thoughts are so far. Please don't forget to leave a like on this video if you don't mind taking a second to do that, because it helps me out in a big fat way and I would always appreciate it. And if you are new around here, hello, I am Nicole and I would love to have you subscribe because I am needy. I just am, and I need you to help me by subscribing. But also, I really do think you would enjoy the videos and I would love to have you around. The more the merrier. In case you missed the announcement in the last video, I am continuing the A Court of Thorns and Roses series for our book club here on this channel, and I will leave all of the information about what we are reading up to and when in the description down below. I think that's all we really need to talk about before we get started today. So let's just rewind back in time to before I had any makeup on my face and get started talking about the skincare portion of this collection first. So this package arrived yesterday and I immediately plugged in the mini fridge to see if it got cool and also to test it out and see if I liked it with my skincare. A few years back, Dr. Jart sent over a little mini fridge with skincare and I used it for a few days, and that particular mini fridge stopped working really quickly for some reason. So I never really got to see if like I truly enjoy having my skincare in a little mini fridge. When I took the products out and used them from the mini fridge, it definitely felt like more special and spa-like and luxurious. Does it make a difference in your skincare? I don't know. I'm not a skincare expert, and quite frankly, it's too soon to tell. But I wanted to touch on the mini fridge just as like a skincare concept, because when I showed the mini fridge with all of the stuff in it on my Instagram story, you guys had more questions about the fridge than anything else. So I figured I would touch on that. Now, like I said, I got this package yesterday, so I haven't had very much time to play with the skincare stuff. And with skincare, I like to test it for a while before I make a true judgment on it. However, I did try the product, so I can give you my first impressions. So last night I used the watermelon jelly cleanser, and I use a jelly cleanser every day anyway. Most of the time, I either use the Glossier one or the Bliss Spa one. This is very similar to those, except the packaging is different. The scent is watermelon, which I really like. But I did notice that this one in particular was able to take off my eye makeup, including my waterproof mascara, without the help of another makeup remover or cleanser. Usually with my jelly cleansers, I know that I have to go in on a cotton pad with like my Lancome micellar water or something along those lines. But this one did the whole job on its own. So I don't know if I can say that I love it yet, because a week from now, I might be covered in pimples and I might have a completely different opinion. But as of right now, as a cleanser on a first impression, I think I really like this. I also used the water gel moisturizer both last night and this morning. This one is very interesting. I'm gonna apply it to my face right now so you guys will see it in action, but I have to say first and foremost that the texture of it is strange. Not like bad, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's weird. It's like jelly, but like it looks like there's like little granules in it or something. And the first time I pumped it, a lot of watery stuff came out. I don't know if that always happens or is supposed to happen, but the first few pumps, I was like, wait a second, is this just coming out straight up water? But then once that passed, it was like a gel, like a jelly gel came out. This one in particular feels really nice when you use it out of the fridge. I did that this morning. Last night I used it warm. This morning I used it cold. So I took 2 pumps on my hand like that, and then I just kind of rubbed it together, and like, I don't know if you guys can see the texture very well, but it's just an odd texture. But anyway, once you rub it into your skin, it kind of all disappears. Like, it literally soaks right into your skin, and it doesn't really feel like you put anything on at all, but it does feel like your skin is a bit more hydrated. It's definitely extremely light, which probably makes it nice for an under makeup moisturizer, but I suppose we shall see. Next up, we have the Dew Primer. I am going to use this to prep my face for makeup today. I did have this one in the fridge, so it should feel delightful on the skin. Ooh, it feels very sticky though. One of my mutuals over on Instagram, Katie Cakes, she told me that she picked this up yesterday and that she really liked the primer, that it was very tacky. So that's always a good sign. This smells very watermelony, and the texture feels like, I don't know how to explain it. It feels like a water gel, but also very tacky at the same time. It's so interesting. I definitely feel like it's giving my skin a dewy start though, that's for sure. The texture of this actually kind of reminds me a little bit of the Milk Hydro Grip, but maybe a touch thicker and more hydrating. But I love Milk Hydro Grip, so that's definitely a good sign. We'll see how makeup applies over it though. I'm gonna go do my base routine minus any of the powders, and then we'll carry on to the blushes and the face and eye glosses. Okay, I used my usual foundation. Well, it's not really foundation, I guess, the It Cosmetics CC Cream in light medium because your girl's got a lot of fake tan on right now, so I went up a shade. I used the Huda Beauty Tantour in light, and I also ran a little bit of that through my crease over my primer so that we had a little bit of definition, but nothing powdery, so it doesn't like mess with the eye gloss when we decide to use that. I also just put the tiniest bit of powder like directly underneath my eyes because if I don't, they will be a creasy mess. Like, there's just no question in the matter. So there are 2 jelly blushes in the color Berry Pop and Peach Pop. I'll swatch each of those and we'll decide which one we're gonna try on the cheek. Let's zoom in so we can get like into the textures, you know what I mean? So this is Berry Pop. Look at that. Oh, if that doesn't look like a jiggly little belly. Swatch it with my finger initially. That's not how we're gonna apply it to the face though. Ooh, nice and smooth and ooh. This one is Peach Pop. Ooh, it looks fun too. I could just sit here and tap these and watch them on the monitor like literally all day. Watch that one next. Okay, that swatch was not as satisfying. Let me pick some more up on my finger. There we go. I mean, I don't know what these are gonna apply like, but the swatches are stunning. I am gonna wipe them off though because I don't trust myself with a white shirt. I just don't. I think the best way to try this will be with the JellyPop stipple brush that they sent with the collection. I am going to keep a sponge on hand to blend though, because a lot of times I find with gel blushes, cream blushes, things like that, it's best to put on a small amount and then like quickly, like fast as the dickens, blend it out with a sponge. Sometimes with your fingers, but usually a sponge works well. I'm gonna use Peach Pop because that's usually like the lane I find myself in as far as blush shades are concerned. I'm gonna pick that up. I'm just gonna take whatever's in the cap on the stippling brush. We're gonna see what happens. Blend. Maybe add a little more with the brush and then blend again. That looks really nice and like very healthy, like shiny, dewy, healthy goodness and glow. You know what I mean? Like, I think I'm serving summer health and wellness vibes right now. Like, catch me rollerblading by the beach with a watermelon smoothie, perhaps. Okay, that's really pretty. I am the picture of health and wellness. Next, we have 2 JellyPop face and eye glosses. We have Creamsicle Pop, which is like a gold pink duochrome. One of those things that looks like it's like one of those really satisfying videos on Instagram. Maybe I'll have to make a mini Instagram video of this and clickbait y'all. So that is Creamsicle Pop. Oddly enough, the duochromeness of it is actually showing up quite nicely on camera. A lot of times these things don't get any justice done to them on camera. This one definitely does still look more impressive in person, but I don't know, man, that shine. And the next one, which I made a mess of already, is Icy Pop. Also stunning. I think I'm gonna use Icy Pop on my lids and the Creamsicle Pop on my cheeks. On their website, it says best worn alone for a natural dewy look. So they do seem to suggest that you use these without makeup underneath, so that way it doesn't break up your makeup during the day. As you know, anything glossy really tends to break down what's underneath it. Maybe the flush blush with a little bit of this over it for a really natural look would be nice, but today I am not doing that. But we'll see today if it is feasible to wear it with a full face of makeup, or if you really can only pair it with a nude face and just like a little hint of color and gloss, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna take a little bit of Icy Pop and I'm gonna put that on my lids. It says to rub it between your fingers to warm the product up before you apply it. So we will do that. I'm just gonna dab it over my lids. Now, I would say, because glossy lids can be very, very messy, that the best way to do this would be take a less is more approach and just dab on a small amount for like a little bit of sheen. I feel like if you put on a ton, you're just gonna feel it on your lids all day long, you know? But around my crease area, it definitely is already settling into some fine lines. Now, granted, I am wearing primer underneath this, which they don't suggest. So if you're wearing it on its own, you'd probably see less of that settling because it's more clear. However, if you think this product is gonna sit for like a long time and like be a long wear thing, I think you're kidding yourself. I don't think it's really very realistic to expect any sort of an eyeglass to ever wear for a long time without settling into any fine lines. But so far, this is definitely one of the more comfortable ones I've ever put on my eye, and it doesn't look like a complete disaster. It just, you know, there's a little bit of settling, just a touch. And to be fair, actually, my primer's already settling into my fine lines in and of itself, all on its own. I'm gonna take Creamsicle Pop and we're gonna use this as our face gloss today. I'm just gonna place this with my finger in the areas where I would normally put my highlight. I mean, you kind of can't get any more dewy than that. It's like a sexy sweat vibe, you know what I mean? Definitely the literal interpretation of hot girl summer, I think. Right now, I'm not mad at it. So I'm going to do some mascara. I'm not gonna put lashes on today because first of all, I need to go to the gym after this, so lashes aren't realistic for me today anyway. But also because I feel like putting glue over a gloss is a terrible idea. So I'm gonna use the most waterproof mascara I own. And I'm gonna swatch all 4 of the glosses that came with this collection as well. And by then we should see how this look settles into the skin a little bit more, and we'll make our judgments on the collection as a whole. Okay, so I finished up my eyes with the CoverGirl Exhibitionist Waterproof Mascara. That is one of the most waterproof, like budge-proof mascaras I've ever used. By the way, the Jelly Cleanser managed to take that off last night, which I was very impressed with. Just FYI, very few things wind up doing that. I added a little bit of Fenty Diamond Balm to the inner corner because, you know, it just felt right. So far, the lids are definitely a little bit creasy. That's to be expected with the eye gloss. But the finish of it still looks really nice, and I'm feeling like a healthy dewy goddess. And the gloss on the face settled in really nicely. Like, I feel like at this point it just looks a little bit dewy, and it almost like hydrated my skin and my makeup underneath. So far, I think I personally would really realistically only use it on my face, but I have been looking for a face gloss that I like for a while, so that's definitely a nice find. I would probably use the eye gloss for like a photo, like an editorial close-up, like something to put on the gram, but I probably wouldn't personally use it in real life. I would be willing to give it a go completely barefaced, because although I don't often walk around with makeup on and my eyelids bare, on the occasion that I did with a little bit of mascara, I could see myself just popping it on there and maybe getting like that little healthy dewy shine. But that remains to be seen, and I will definitely keep you guys updated about that on my Instagram stories, because that's the place where it makes most sense to just like try little things like that out and like pop in with the answer every now and then. So if you're not following me on Instagram, hello, I'm at Miss Quintface. Come find me over there. Now all that we have left is the glosses. There are 4 shades. I will swatch each of them on the lips for you, and then at the end we'll discuss how all of this is still sitting. Before we zoom back out, I just want to show you guys up close what the eye gloss looks like before we carry on, because I don't want to have to readjust my camera twice. So definitely everything is settling into the fine lines. I still think it could make a cool close-up photo, and I definitely would like to try it on its own, and we'll keep you guys updated on that. But if you're looking to do a glossy eyelid that lasts, I don't think it's going to happen with this one. Quite frankly, I don't think it's going to happen with any eye gloss. I've never seen it happen yet, so I'm not shocked. But, you know, had to try just in case. Okay, so thoughts. What are my thoughts? Let's start from the beginning where we begin. The beginning where we began, I was gonna say, whew, wow, I'm a scholar. I already pretty much covered the jelly cleanser, but for the most part, I think I like it. I will continue using it, and if anything comes up, if it causes any issues with my skin long term, I'll of course let you guys know. But as of right now, I think it seems pretty effective, and it definitely seems comparable to the jelly cleansers that I already know and love, with a watermelon scent, which, by the way, in the reviews that I was reading on e.l.f.'s website, a lot of people were saying that they found the scent to be too strong. I didn't really feel that way, but I love watermelon, so maybe that's why. The water gel moisturizer, so far, it seems fine. It's very hard to say with a moisturizer just in using it 2 or 3 times, so obviously I will keep you guys updated on this as well. But as far as just the experience of applying it, it feels nice. It smells nice. It was really nice coming out of that little fridge, all nice and cool, and it's definitely very light. So if you're looking for something that's not gonna mess with your makeup, this might be a good under makeup moisturizer for you. Now, I don't know because I haven't really researched this at all, but something tells me if you have extremely dry skin that maybe this won't be enough for you. The blushes are actually really nice. I'm very pleasantly surprised with these. I knew immediately that they reminded me of something, and I couldn't put my finger on what. So the actual application method of this is nothing alike, but the finish reminds me of the Tarte stick blushes that used to be available, and they were like really dewy and beautiful, and they looked like super healthy on the skin, and then they stopped making them and made me cry. Those, what the hell were, I don't even remember what they were called, but they were like a thick, like a chubby stick blush, and they had like different shades that were shimmers and just like clear ones and stuff, and they give such a beautiful finish to the skin. The finish of these reminds me of that, and I quite like it. Whoa, I just threw one and caught it. Wow, whoa, got it. Now, I will say that they do dry down pretty quickly, so I would recommend moving quick with them. I did use the stippling brush provided with the collection to apply them initially and then blend them out with a sponge like you saw. The brush is fine. I don't think that you necessarily need this specific stippling brush, but if you're looking for a stippling brush, this one's cute, and e.l.f. brushes in general are really up there with some of my favorites. Some of my oldest brushes in my collection are e.l.f. brushes actually, and they're very affordable, so I definitely recommend them in general. But if you already have a stippling brush, I don't think you need this one specifically to apply these, if that makes sense. The eye and face glosses, stunningly beautiful to look at, like visual ASMR. They remind me of so many beautiful videos that I watch on Instagram to relax in the evening. They remind me of like those like paint mixing videos, but that's really not a viable part of the review. So as far as on the eyes, I don't think that you should pick these up in hopes that you're going to get an eye gloss that's going to last all day. But if you're looking for something that'll just give a little slick of gloss to your lids and you don't mind a little bit of creasing of that gloss, keep in mind that it won't look as obvious as mine does, because if there's not anything underneath it, there's no pigment, and it won't leave that line of like a lighter shade in the crease, if that makes sense. But again, like I said, I don't know of any eye gloss that doesn't crease. I don't think it exists. However, as a face gloss, I really like these. I would definitely use these again, like especially on light makeup days, like if it's like hot out and I just want to look a little bit dewy. I think these are lovely for that. They apply very easily. They don't feel heavy on the skin. Anything glossy usually feels so heavy on the skin. These feel really, really light. I'm very impressed with the texture of them. And finally, the 4 glosses. Obviously, these are very, very sheer glosses. They leave like a very small hint of color. Personally, I think my favorite little hints of color were the apricot one and the watermelon one, which I'm still wearing right now. As far as how they feel, they have like a little bit of a cooling effect on the lips, which is interesting. I wasn't expecting that. And they feel very moisturizing and hydrating. They're not sticky, but they're definitely a little bit thick, and there definitely is a little bit of a watermelon scent. However, they are really, really glossy and glassy. So as far as the way they look, I'm very satisfied with that. This is like the opposite of how I usually do my makeup on this channel. It's usually like super structured, super matte, like tons of eyeshadow, tons of primer, big fake lashes. So this is kind of like a nice derivation from that. This collection I think is perfect if you are looking to like keep a healthy and natural dewy glow. If you're gonna be like in like an outdoor setting, maybe a music festival or a vacation where you still want to look nice in the evenings, like pop this on for like a little bit of an elevated natural look. I think that you would really enjoy this for that. Please let me know in a comment down below if you have picked anything up from this collection. What are your thoughts? Are you looking at anything in this collection in particular? Do you know of an eye gloss that doesn't crease? Because put a girl on, please, please tell me. Tell me, I want to know. Please don't forget to leave a like on this video if you don't mind taking a second and you enjoyed the video, because it really helps me out and I always appreciate it. And if you are new here, don't forget to subscribe, because I would love to have you around for more videos. If you want to keep up with me between videos, you can go ahead and follow me on Instagram. I'm at Miss Quinface over there. I know I've already plugged that a couple times, but you know, Instagram's a hard place to be these days, and so every little follow is appreciated. But for real though, I do wind up posting a lot of like updates and behind the scenes stuff and PR unboxings, and do some interesting makeup over there, and I think you would enjoy. That's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you hanging out and talking makeup with me today as always, and I will see you in the next one.